Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout. This is the 13th layout doing this kit, using this kit, and it's the April Scraptastic kit. I'm down to a bunch of scraps, and if you're wondering why it goes from layout 9 to 13 is I deleted accidentally the videos for I hadn't even uploaded them yet to iMovie, like to process them or anything. Anyway, just poof, gone. I deleted my entire June folder. Now, thankfully, there was like 4 already uploaded to iMovie, so I didn't lose those. But yeah, so prior to this video, I will have like a small video with the 3 layouts and just kind of outlining what I did with them. So first off, I have this paper here that I totally did not like. So what I did was I took some gesso and I found the white was going to be too much because a lot of the pattern papers were cream base, and I just want to cover that background because it's just too bright and I don't like the pattern. But I think if I can tone it down, then I won't mind it as much. And since this is Mixed Media Month on my Facebook group, I decided to just cover the background. So I mixed some gesso with some golden paint. And golden paint it's called Golden Fluid Acrylics, and it's called Titan Buff. And it's made, it's really good paint, and I love it. And I used to use it all the time on my mixed media stuff. And now that, I started doing more mixed media on my scrapbook layouts, I started using my mixed media stuff a whole lot more instead of, it just sitting there and kind of wasting away. So, which it probably wouldn't. It might get hard after a while, though, I guess the ink and stuff, the paints. But, it's just fine. I've had it for a few years and it's just like it's new. So it's going to take me a few minutes, and I'm just going to cover the background. And I really didn't measure how much of the white and how much of the paint I wanted to put. I didn't want it to be creamy. And another reason I wanted to use gesso with it is because gesso is like a primer. So then everything that I put on top of this layout, it won't beat up my pattern paper as much. So I'm going to take a few seconds and use my heat gun and dry it up, and then I'll be ready to go. And that's one thing with mixed media. You need to have a heat gun and sometimes a glue gun, because for your stuff to stick to it really well, sometimes you need a hot glue gun to do so. So again, I am down to my scraps, so I'm just cutting down different sections of the pattern paper and trying to figure out how I'm going to use it on this layout. And that's probably my favorite part of the kits, is when I'm down to my scraps. It's just so much fun. I'm basically just cutting pieces. I haven't even touched the photo yet. I'm just going through all the scraps that I have left and looking to see which ones I want to put on this layout. And I want to keep it pink, white, and black. And I'm going to do, it's a picture of my daughter, and when we were in Niagara Falls this past April, we went, it wasn't as nice this year because it was early April, but it was still nice, don't get me wrong, but the grass wasn't as green. And even the falls, like they had tons of ice still left on, in the falls. And so we didn't go close to the falls this year like we normally do, because one, time constraint, we just didn't have the time, and two, it wasn't as pretty. It was much funner when it was in May, but it was still 22 degrees, so no complaints. It was a gorgeous weekend while we were there. Now, I want to add some texture to the page, so I figured that I was going to add white ink on top of this creamy background. And I didn't clean my template first. So, of course, there was brown ink on there. So here it was, just covered in brown ink. But that's one of the main reasons why I like to use gesso if I'm going to get messy with my pages. Because it is a prep like that, all I did was added some water and the ink lifted right off. And I'm going to just do the white ink, and then when I come back, I decide on doing something else. I'm going to ink all the edges in a gray ink from Hero Arts. And I'm just using my small dauber from Tim Holtz. And again, because I don't want to lose how I have all these pieces of pattern papers, and a lot of them you can tell like there's big chunks out of them and everything. So I don't want to lose the placing. So what I'm doing is I'm actually, inking, gluing, or sticking and then gluing. And just adding one piece of pattern paper at a time and making sure that each pattern paper is sticking out a little bit so that you can see it. Now I'm going to cut that black and white sort of chevron head pattern paper in two because I want to keep it for another layout. I love to use that black pattern paper just as a, just a shot of color, just to add that to the layout. Now this is where I go, I really don't like that chevron arrow the way it looks right now. So I've gone to look, I believe, for some ink, and I'm going to be getting my peony from Prima Color Bloom, and I love those sprays, and I've already used this one quite a bit. Like you can already tell it's gone down. It's not new anymore, which is fine. That's the point, right? If you're going to get something new, try to use it almost as soon as when you get them, and then that way you feel like, okay, well, I bought it, but at least I've put some use to it. I then removed the nozzle and then just added a bunch of droplets. And this here, it's called India Ink, and it's from Martin Bombay. And it's awesome. It's probably it's even gonna make blacker splotches than the black Heidi Swap or the Mr. Huey, because it's a black ink. And again, I had that for my mixed media, and I started ripping everything out that was used for mixed media, and now I'm using it on my page. And that's what I like about these challenges too, that I put out on my Facebook group, is it's challenging me too. This is how I come up with these challenges. I go, okay, what haven't I done in a while, or what products would I like to play with? And then you have a month, to just kind of have fun with these products. So it does take a bit of time to dry up. So what I do is I dry from the top, and then I also will, dry it from the back. And you can, once it's dry enough on the front and you shoot it from the back or dry it from the back, you actually see it drying up because you're just getting it from a different angle. Now I was having issues with my ATG gun again, and it broke. And so I just rethreaded it, and away it went. And I'm already almost done another roll of ATG. And I think I've only uploaded 5 layouts up to now, maybe, of the April kit on my YouTube channel. But I'm actually starting out layout 16. So I'm almost done my April kit. So yay, it's coming along really good. The crazy overtime is now done. I'm back on a regular schedule. And I started packing, but I only do like, I don't know, 3 or 4 boxes a day. And then, because it's really hard on my shoulder, lifting all this stuff and putting it out. So I don't want to overdo it. So I'm doing 3 or 4 boxes a day. And today is June 13th. And I'm already all packed up. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm already all packed up for my weekend. I think I have my, no, I don't think, I know. I only have my clothes left to pack, which will only take me like 5 minutes and shampoo and all that stuff. So basically I'm all done and I thought I'd do this voiceover and then I'm going to clean the house and then I'll be ready for the weekend. So now I want to add a couple of doilies and it's just from my stash. And I used one of those bags that the Freckle Fawn kits come in now. And I don't like the bags as much as I do the containers, but I really like this. You know, this one I put in all my doilies in it. So I like that. Everything's all confined in one little area. So if I can find a few uses for them like that, I'll be happy. So now I'm, working on the embellishments. And again, it's just all from the kit, a bunch of die cuts. And there was one sheet that I could cut apart and I cut it all apart and it was all different tickets and stuff. And it was quite appropriate because I'm going to probably stick the journaling to the bottom of the layout. I'm going to stick a little sheet that'll come out there and you'll be able to, or maybe at the top. Yeah, it's still open quite a bit at the top. I'll put a little journaling thing there and I believe I kept the receipt for how much the tickets cost to go see this competition for my husband, myself, and my son. And that was only 2 days, like for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It cost $109, I believe. Anyway, it's not cheap. It's almost as much. We're looking to go see a Boston Red Sox game when we go to Boston this summer. And, that's going to cost us $120 for 3 of us to go. So $10 more to go see a Boston Red Sox game than to go see a cheerleading competition. This was a national. It's usually not always that much. It's usually only about $10, and the one in Halifax is about $25, $30 a person. So yeah, it's not a cheap sport to go see. So one of the die cuts said this and that, so I'm going to stick that on there. And again, I cut out a bunch of the cameras that it was a pattern paper that I had taken out from my stash. And I love cutting stuff out of pattern paper and using them on elements on layouts. Just like these butterflies, it was actually from a pattern paper and I'm just cutting them out and I just leave a little white edge around the whole thing and then I don't have to worry about, cutting it too precisely. So the battery's going to die and the only thing that I added to it was the twine to the butterfly. I added a craft bow to one of the cameras and some chipboard stars, a little bit all over the layout. And I added some more India ink to the layout. And that's it. The page is done. So if you want to join me on Facebook, the link is in the description. And you can see extra photos at Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram at Cherry on Top, 2 Peas in a Bucket, Scraptastic blog, and Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye.